Hello everyone and welcome to a new IK video. This is Ken from 49, and in this video guys I want to talk about the Earth March. I mean the full Earth March where you're using Alex, Charles, Cleopatra and Zenobia. You know, the classic Earth March that everyone is using in the beginning of each and every new server. This is my Earth March here. Don't mind the power, I have the King buff right now. This is why it's higher than usual. So this is the Earth March that I'm using instead sometimes of my Mixed March, and the reason that I'm using this March here because there's a lot of very strong marches that we're fighting currently in our KVK who are using fire marches. The fire marches are so strong and they deal so much damage to the Mixed Marches because you're using two immortals who are wind, and you know, fire marches deal up to 25% more damage to the wind element. This is why the despite how strong the mixed marches are in the current meta, it is so vulnerable when you're fighting a fire march. This is why I'm using a full earth. Using a full earth give you a huge advantage against fire marches because of the debuff that is coming from Cleopatra, the minus 30% damage to the highest immortal with the magical attack. Also, I get to use some other skills that I cannot use usually in my mixed march, such as resist and melee. So these are the skills that I'm currently using. I'm using the classic skills that you would use for Alex in any Earth March, Cleave, Compo, and Dual Master. In against fire marches, you can change this for anger. However, if they are using con, it would be different because you want the immunity to wounds always available on Alex. On Charles, I'm using on Charles the fighting master because I don't want my Charles to get controlled because most of the fire marches that I fight against are using Cyrus. Also, we're using resist, one of the most defensive skills to use against fire marches, and I'm using weakness as an aura. The auras that I'm using are weakness and malice, mainly because I don't need berserk in this march because Alex is not the main source of damage. It is Cleo that is the main source of damage, and for Cleo I'm using chase, annihilation, death breath. Combined with weakness, she gets to deal so much damage, and I'm using a crit rate artifact. For Zeno, I'm using Zeno as a support, and I want her to defend Cleo because sometimes Cleo dies so early in the game from Empress Wu. This is why I'm using assist on my Zenobia, and I'm also using Oaken Guard instead that I ran into someone with a lot higher physical damage early game. This is why I'm using guard. And of course, melee is the most important skill to use against fire marches. I have a couple of reports here to share. It's not against fire marches, however, let me go through the reports that I have. This is before I get king buff. However, in these reports here, guys, we have a huge advantage, which is the capital buffs. This is something that I wanted to talk about in the beginning of this video, however I forgot. We get 54% immortal attack because of the alliance territories. We're a one faction server currently to fight in KVK, and it helps us a lot in most of the fight. We have a big advantage and we are using it. So as you can see, this is an Earth March. However, I don't actually prefer using Earth March this way without the 20%. If you're using Earth, you gotta use at least four Earth Immortals or 3 Earth Immortals at least with the Dragon because of the buff that you usually miss, which is the 20% physical attack and magical attack. This buff here is huge. And the only march that could play without this without this buff, in my opinion, is the mixed march. This is why this march here has a very high sustain. However, it doesn't have enough damage. And you can see here, he's not using malice in this march here. This is why Cleopatra dealt so much damage, even though it wasn't enough to defeat him completely. However, it was a defense, so it was my advantage, so I got to win this fight. And the second one, it was an Earth March. It was kind of a weird Earth March. Charles, Alex, Elizabeth, Jenkins with a Water March. This is kind of odd. And you can see here, it was kind of easy for my Earth. This is a Fire March. It was kind of a weak Fire March. His dragon is not fully developed. However, it was also easy for myself, and I didn't have enough troop to fight this. I have a lot of reports for A full Earth March. I don't think I saved the other reports. Hopefully I did. This was another report. This was today, I think, but without the king buff. This was before I get the king buffs. You can see here that the this is a fire march. This is kind of decent fire march. However, you can see that Cleo dealt so much damage, over 7 million damage from Chase. I think he's not using Malais. Yeah, most people don't use Malais on fire marches, so this is an advantage for you whenever you're running Earth. You gotta use weakness and run a crit rate artifact on Hippolyta. Is gonna give you a huge advantage. Anyway, this is everything I wanted to talk about regarding the Earth March. Earth Marches are still so strong, however, they are not in the current meta, but you can use them against mages such as Fire Marches, Water Marches. I don't even need to mention this, but they would annihilate any Water March, regardless how strong it is. Also, Shadow Marches, because the main damage in Shadow Marches usually comes from Himiko, so using Cleopatra against an Earth March would be so helpful as well. This is everything I want to talk about in this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe in the channel and have a wonderful day.